It's here, guys. I made it. There was no avoiding this. There was no way around it. I couldn't skip it. I couldn't just stop where I was. I just had to trudge on through. Welcome back to the Power Rangers Marathon, and today I am reviewing Power Rangers Super Megaforce. May God have mercy on my soul. Okie day! So basically, this season continues the celebration of the franchise's 20th anniversary, and of course, the main thing that we were teased about this season is that we were getting such an epic, legendary battle that we've never seen before. But I'm going to save that for later. Let's get to the nitty gritty of things. Power Rangers Super Megaforce is widely known as the worst, and I mean the absolute worst, season of Power Rangers in Power Rangers history. Worse than Turbo. Worse than Operation Overdrive. Oh yeah. Y'all thought Turbo and Operation Overdrive were bad? Even though I don't think they're that bad. This season takes the cake. This season takes the cake. So basically, this season is adapting footage from Kaizo Sentai Gokaiger. And Gokaiger is basically the 35th Super Sentai season. And that season was also celebrating Super Sentai's 35th anniversary. And what they did, they went all out, spending no charge, bringing in cameos from past Sentai actors, having special tribute episodes, callbacks to past seasons, and everything, having a giant legendary battle from every single Sentai team at that time. They blew the wad with that season. And it was widely well known and extremely popular worldwide. Now, you would think that Power Rangers would probably do something different and probably just, do their own thing, right? Right? No, 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 no. Of course not. They look at Gokaiger and be like, alright, it's our turn to do this. We got something for the fans. And what do we get? A dumpster fire of a season that doesn't even give a crap about the legacy, the continuity, none of that. Not a single inch. And boy, this season drives me up the walls to the holy heavens, and especially when I was trying to watch through this season, it gave me a migraine that I can't even forget. Granted, there is some parts of this season where I just feel like, if I could just sit down and just watch and just look at it and see, yeah, I enjoying it. But the only problem is, if there was no fighting going on, I wasn't enjoying this season at all. I wasn't. But again, to the cast, this is not your fault. This is not your fault. The fault here goes to the production team. That's who I blame for this travesty. So, let's talk about the suits. I love these suits. These suits are pretty much one of my... I just looking at these suits, they're great. They're really great. But another thing is that the Rangers still have access to their Megaforce suits. That's another thing. Because at the end of Megaforce, the alien armada shows up, destroying the city left and right, and the Rangers still have access to the Megaforce powers. Like I said in my Megaforce review, if they destroyed the Megaforce power completely, they could just perfectly transfer over to the Super Mega mode. Perfect way to transfer over to new powers. But no, let's just keep them. They basically got 2 sets of suits, 2 sets of morphers, and 2 sets of powers. How do you balance that out? You can't balance that out at all. And the silly thing is, they can morph straight into Super Mega mode without even going into their Megaforce costumes. They don't need to do that. They could just go straight into Super Mega mode. Easily. Was there any way for them to just say, like, hey, let's take these Megaforce powers away. Here's your new powers. These are your permanent powers. put them to good use. Would that be so hard? Would that be so hard to do? No? It wouldn't be so hard? Oh well. So, before I continue, actually, I wanted to talk about Orion for a second. Orion, he still needs the right treatment. Really, he really needs the right treatment because Orion, someone who's a Sixth Ranger who has access to every Sixth Ranger power known to man in the franchise at that time, he barely even utilizes the entire arsenal of the Six Rangers. Barely, and that's what really disgusts me so much. Heck, you would think he has access to the Titanium Rangers? No, he does not. Not a single time he uses the Titanium Ranger powers. But anyway, as I'm going forward, I want to list some missed opportunities. I have two categories for this review. Missed opportunities and big problems. So, for the missed opportunities, my first missed opportunity is Forever Color morphs. Now, as you know, they did a Forever Red morph in the first episode, and they also did a Forever Black morph. Cool, right? Cool. But did you ever think, okay, why don't we just morph into other colors? Like, what about a Forever Blue, a Forever Green, a Forever Yellow, or Forever Pink? Would it be so bad to see, I don't know. I didn't have no problem just seeing, the guys morph into pink or yellow Rangers. I thought that would have been cool. Of course, they didn't go Kaija. You think they would do it in Power Rangers? Nah, not really. I just feel like that's a missed opportunity. I think that they could have went with. They could have done that. Another missed opportunity. Full team morphs of popular teams. Let me give you guys the list of team morphs that they used. So, when I mean the full teams, like a set Ranger team where they morph into the specific team. For instance, MMPR. They all, of course, that's an obvious one. That's a given. Zeo. That's also a given. The Alien Rangers. They do morph into the Alien Rangers, but it's just for a quick second. Very quick second. The Turbo Rangers. Okay, that's fine. But for Power Rangers in space? Barely. Not even. To the season that saved the franchise the first season that saved the franchise from cancellation, and you don't even respect them by actually giving them a full team morph? That's disrespectful. That's sad. That's terrible. The season that saved you guys from cancellation, and you're only going to have them morph into 4 of them? When I mean 4, Andros, Zane, Ashley, and Carlos. Those are the only suits that were used. I'm sorry. Red, silver, black, and yellow. Those are the only in-space suits that were used. Lost Galaxy, they all got used. Lightspeed Rescue, none. Well, I'm sorry, not none. The Blue Ranger was the only Lightspeed Rescue suit that was used. That was the only one. Time Force, my favorite season. A very popular season. What's the Ranger suit that's used? Just the Pink Ranger suit. Because yes, Jen is the most popular Pink Ranger of them all. Yes. But why not a full Time Force team? What's your problem? Wild Force, just the main 5. And to be honest, I'm okay with that. Ninja Storm, all 6 suits were used. Okay. Dino Thunder, all 5 suits were used. Fine. SPD, just the main 5 suits were used. Okay, that's fine. It would have been cool to see them use the Shadow Ranger key or the Omega Ranger key, but of course, they don't even use them. Mystic Force, just the main 5. Operation Overdrive, just the Red Ranger. I mean, you can't blame them. Not everyone likes Operation Overdrive. But, hey, it depends on who you ask. Jungle Fury, just the main 5. That's fine. RPM, The whole team was used. Of course, with Orion, they had to fuse the Gold and Silver Rangers together because Sentai footage. The Samurai Keys, the full team gets used, of course, which is again, that's fine. Now, really have a problem with them just not using a full team morph of the popular teams. That's just basically a problem that I have. Another missed opportunity, 6 Ranger morphs, like I previously mentioned. Orion has such infinite power of 6 Ranger keys, he barely even uses them. Heck, he doesn't even use the Quantum Ranger key. He doesn't morph into the Silver Wolf Ranger from Wild Force. He doesn't morph into the Omega Ranger from SPD, the Solaris Knight from Mystic Force. Like, so many missed opportunities for my boy Orion, and it sucks. That really, really hurts me. It really hurts. And my last missed opportunity, no mention of legacy characters. Here's what I mean by this. If you have a specific tribute episode, take for instance, the Wild Force tribute. The Rangers are basically told that there's a special Zord on the Animarium and that they could use it as their ally. So, nowhere in Gosei's mind just say that, hey, this floating island shaped like a turtle has a princess on the island. You really think that they would mention Princess Shayla? Because at the end of Wild Force, Princess Shayla is still wide awake. She sends the Animarium back up into the sky, but no mentioning of her at all. We see Red Lion there, of course, but no, you don't mention anyone else. No one. Why? Why not? It would have been great to say, like, oh, Rangers, just so you know, there's this island in the shape of a turtle, and it's not guarded, but there's also a princess there. If you do actually run into her, tell her Gosei said hello. Just probably, it would be nice to have the Rangers interact with Princess Shayla and just say, oh, I know of Gosei, and isn't he Zordon's student? Missed opportunity. Missed opportunity. Another thing. The RPM tribute episode. The Rangers basically, they do mention Corinth, and they do mention that Corinth is where the RPM Rangers live. Good, good. But any mentioning of what the Rangers have been up to, or what Dr. K is doing, and how Corinth just pretty much got fixed in a matter of years? Any mention of that? No! No! Not even. Not a single mention of the RPM Rangers or Dr. K. Missed opportunity right there. Now, those are the missed opportunities. Now, on to the big problems that I have. Legendary Ranger mode. Basically, of course, they have the access to morph into past Rangers. But, Legendary Ranger mode comes at a price. Whenever they use Legendary Ranger mode, it takes up too much power. Why is that? Why is it that a power source that gives them the power to morph into past Rangers comes at a price? Because every time they're in a fight, like Gosei is right, we gotta morph back into Super Mega mode. Legendary Ranger mode uses up too much power. When have we ever had a moment in Power Rangers that was a moment that's just saying, like, it's too much power, this could destroy us, or it's too much power, it could drain us completely? If there is, let me know. Let me know. I could be wrong. Just let me know. But for real though, when has that ever happened before? This is basically just nerfing the main gimmick that we're supposed to see, and it just makes it obsolete. It's like they've given them a fusion like in Dragon Ball Z, where fusion comes at a time limit. I don't like that. No. Next thing, powers given randomly. What I mean by that is that every time during a Megazord battle, or just during a fight in general, Gosei would just say, Rangers, congratulations, you now have access to this specific powers. And In the Megazord battle, they have access to specific legendary Zords. For instance, they have access to the Red Lion basically as a tribute to Wild Force. They have access to the Delta Runner for SPD. They have access to a Dragon for Mystic Force. They have access to the Turbo Falcon for RPM. And they also have access to the Mini Zord for Ninja Storm. And yet they barely have any representation of Ninja Storm in this season whatsoever. And that's another thing that sucks. But it's just like, when did this become a video game where after the end of the level we're just given rewards for free instead of just doing these certain it's like you're doing these certain conditions, and that once you complete these conditions you get the reward. Rewards are meant to be earned, not to just be given them for free. That's basically what the Rangers got when it comes to these new powers. And speaking of new powers, the Sentai suits. Rangers, you now have access to suits that have never been seen on this planet. What the hell? What the hell were they thinking? What the hell did production team was thinking that this was going to be okay? Let me give you a list of all these powers that were used, okay? You got Squadron Mode, which is basically Die Ranger. You have Lightning Mode, which is from Hikari Sentai Mass Man. You have Prism Mode from Cho Sensei Flashman. You have Blitz Mode from Dengeki Sentai Changeman. You have Supersonic Mode from Chikyu Sentai 5-Man. Now granted, thanks to the Boom Comics, we can now say that the supersonic form is canon. Okay. But you really think this would have been a good idea, right? No, it's not a good idea. I'm sitting here watching the episode. I see the Die Ranger suits. I'm like, and then when you see Orion morph into the White Ranger and you see the Die Ranger suits and the White Ranger suit together, I'm like, huh, this suit fits perfectly well with them, don't you think? Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. But again, why? Why in your right mind you think that this was okay? I'm pretty sure kids are just probably sitting in front of their TV screen back then saying like, what are those suits? I'm like, hey, like mom or dad or hey, big brother, were those suits in Power Rangers? I'm like, I don't remember seeing those suits in Power Rangers in my life. Maybe that White Ranger suit, yeah, but not those suits. Or neither that one or that one. Like, where did these suits come from? Again, big problem. They shouldn't have done it. Should never have done that. My next big problem. Character swapping personalities. Now, this is what I mean by swapping personalities. If you can just see the fight footage. Take a look at Noah. Noah's basically the brains of the team. And throughout this season, he does spend his time on a computer researching the past Rangers and their arsenal. What any person would do for research. That's good. But when he's in a fight, he suddenly becomes a swordsman. I'm like, no, you're a brains person. You're the smart person of the team. Since when did you become so, involved with just, slashing swords? Since when? And same thing with Jake. Okay, with Jake, I can feel like it works because, yes, Jake is the goofball of the season. Of this team. So anytime of him just just jumping on top of foot soldiers, it kind of works for his character. But again, of course, Sentai footage, there was no way around it at all. No way around it. Next problem I have, unexplained arcs and changes. Another thing I noticed, one of the generals of the Armada named Argus keeps fighting Noah. Here's the problem with that. In Gokaiger, anytime Joe is fighting Argus, it's part of his story. In Super Megaforce, there is no story. There's no rivalry. There's no build up to it whatsoever. It's just, okay, since those two have a history in Gokaiger, let's just use that here, but with no explanation whatsoever. It's just, let's just make that work. And to be honest, you don't really care about these villains anyway. You really don't. Neither did I. But before I get to my big point, my big problem I have with this, and y'all know what it is, I want to mention one decent thing, and that's the two-parter, Rock is back. Now, again, Rock is a mastermind. He should have been like the main villain of Super Megaforce. Again, right after, Prince Vakar dies, Rock comes back for a two-parter, and pretty much he disables the Rangers' legendary Ranger powers. So they had to stick with their Megaforce suits. Okay. Smart, Rock. Smart. And his plan that he has, of course, is smart as well. Of course, Robo Knight comes back, but turns out he captured Robo Knight and turns him evil. And Troy, throughout this entire, well, I wouldn't say entire season, but like in the first couple of episodes in the season, he's always like, where's Robo Knight? Where are you, Robo Knight? And I could see the determination that Troy has to break Robo Knight free. It makes sense. It's good. I kind of like it. Especially the whole Super Saiyan moment where Troy goes, for instance, Robo Knight! You have a mission to fulfill! And then just straight up Super Saiyan punches Robo Knight and turns him back to normal. But again, the energy surrounding Troy is no explanation whatsoever. It's the same problem that I had in Megaforce, where there's no explanation why Troy keeps having the dreams of the legendary battle. So that's my thoughts on the Brock is back. Now, the biggest beef I have with this season. And I felt like ever since when this was released, we had our hopes so high. When I mean we, I'm talking about the whole fandom. We had our hopes so high on this. The legendary battle. This was supposed to be the end-all, be-all team-up of Power Rangers history. Now, granted, only certain Rangers were, only certain Rangers came back, because letters were going out to Ranger actors. Some wanted to come back. Some didn't want to come back. And that's fine. They have their reasons of not wanting to come back. That's fine. So basically, in this finale, we get Cassie and TJ from In Space. We get Carter and Dana from Lightspeed Rescue. We get Leo, Damon, and Corone, excuse me. Leo, Damon, and Corone from Lost Galaxy. We get Wes from Time Force, and we also get Mike and Emily from Samurai. And speaking of cameos, I forgot to mention, Jaden and Mentor G show up earlier in the season during the Samurai tribute episode. It was nice to see them, but I just wish Jaden and Troy had more of a heart-to-heart conversation. From a predecessor Red to a successor Red. Tell me, what do I do when it comes to leading the team? It would have been nice to see Troy and Jaden have a little Red Ranger heart-to-heart conversation. Don't you think? And also, Casey came back as well. It was nice to see Casey again as well. Casey was like the only Disney Ranger that came back. The only one. But, back to the legendary battle. Some of these people didn't have any lines. They did not have... Carter only had 2 sentences. Not 2. Carter only had 1 sentence. Wes only had 1 sentence. But I find the sentence that Wes did say very empowering. I find that okay. Damon, no lines. Leo only has 2-3 lines where he rescue a kid's dog, gives it to him, and that's it. Seeing TJ and Cassie again, that was nice. I found that very nice to see. because we haven't seen them. Well, we haven't seen TJ since Forever Red, and we haven't seen Cassie since the Power of Pink. Fine. Oh, and of course, we all know who had to come back. Ranger Jesus himself, Tommy Oliver. And let me tell you something about Tommy Oliver, or better yet, the scenario how he comes back. After the whole Armada, in the finale, just pretty much destroys the city. Like, the city's been, like, demolished. It's been through annihilation and back. Tommy basically rescues a kid who's stuck in a car, and the car's leaning on a cliff. The parents are not even in the car. I'm like, where are the kid's parents? Where are the kid's parents? So, and on top of that, the way how Tommy just lands on the hood of the car, hands the kid Saba so he can, come out, which also, that scene was pretty much taking a little hint from The Amazing Spider-Man. You guys know what I'm talking about. Where are the kid's parents? That's my problem. But the legendary battle itself, that battle was only 2 minutes long. 2 minutes. And you guys know how long a team-up battle is in Power Rangers. A team-up battle is usually probably like, 3.5 to 4 minutes, maybe. Here, of course, you have the Rangers line up on a cliff, showing the Megaforce Rangers like, hey, we're here. And I love how the way they come down together and just, they're marching. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. But the fight itself, it was just terrible. And another problem that I had for the Titanium Ranger, his helmet is messed up. All you could see is the mouthpiece that covers the mouth, but the visor portion is missing. I'm like, what happened to his helmet? What happened? Fight happens, the Rangers win, the Earth is saved, the legendary Rangers, they shake Troy's hand. It was an honor to fight by your side and everything. They leave, say goodbye, season's over. The Rangers go home. Jake gets a kiss from Gia on the cheek. All that hard work y'all did. Y'all been through non-stop battles for 2 whole years, and you're gonna give this guy a kiss on the cheek? This season is screwed up. I am done with this season. This season, I'm not giving a rating. This season is trash, ridiculous, 0. It is. I'm done with this season. In the comment section below, if you even have anything nice to say, or if there's anything that you enjoyed of Super Megaforce, let me know in the comment section below if there's anything. And of course, if there's some things you would change in Super Megaforce, tell me in the comment section below as well. What is something that you would change or fix? I would love to hear your thoughts and your opinions. I would love to hear them. Again, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and click that bell to be notified. The hard part of the Neil Saban era is over. Stay tuned for my review of Power Rangers, Dino Charge, and Dino Supercharge. I'm going to be doing those seasons together. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching. I am Vengeance, I am Darkness, I am Blackwing. Stay golden, and may the power protect you.